We all have a journey, and that journey can take us many places. Some places on our journey are awesome. Some we wish we would have arrived earlier, and others we wish it would never have happened. My journey has taken me from the business world to teacher and coach to entrepreneur. Your journey is more than being on a blue ball circling a star. It's about sharing your journey with others. This is Coach Driggs, and you are listening to Love the Journey podcast. Welcome to Love the Journey podcast. I'm Coach Driggs. This is my very first podcast, and to say I'm a little bit nervous would be an understatement. It's something I've looked to try to do for many years, and for whatever reason, I've never done it, and I've decided to jump in with both feet. Today's story is going to be about being self-aware and aware of your surroundings and those around you. Me, it took a long time to really understand that and be a little more self-aware. This is a story that I wrote a couple of years ago, but I think it's really a great story. It actually took place in 1985, so many years ago, and it's the day Dave Stewart was traded. I couldn't believe this. How could they do this? I had to tell David, unbelievable, as I ran to David's house, who lived directly across the street. I couldn't believe the Texas Rangers had traded away one of the best pitchers to the Philadelphia Phillies. We had all grown up being Texas Rangers fans, which wasn't always easy. Now they had made a trade that was very upsetting to me. As I ran across the street, I had to dodge a few vehicles parked in the street. I thought it was a little odd, but really didn't pay them any notice. I was on a mission. As I ran down David's driveway, I noticed that he and Russ, who lived a couple blocks down, were sitting on the back steps of David's house. "Hey, did y'all hear that the Rangers have traded Dave Stewart?" I said to both as I was catching my breath. Both Russ and David looked at each other in disbelief. I thought, wow, they're just as shocked as I am. "What?" Russ said with bewilderment. "Did y'all hear the Texas Rangers traded Dave Stewart?" I said emphatically. Russ looked at me in shock and said, "Alan, do you not see the fire trucks in the front of David's house?" I looked at David, then I looked at Russ, turned to see 2 fire trucks in the front of David's house, along with numerous firemen and hoses all over David's yard. "What happened?" I said confusedly. David and Russ had attempted to cook some French fries in a fryer at David's house. Somehow the fries caught fire, and in a panic, a garden hose was brought into the house to attempt to put the fire out. Well, we all know what happens when you try to put out a grease fire with water, and the small fire resulted in David's kitchen being engulfed with flames. In my haste to rush over to David's to give him the news, I completely missed the fire trucks that I had to pass to get to his house. I was so consumed in my own world that I missed the obvious big red trucks in the middle of the road. How often do we go through life missing the obvious around us? How often do we not see the people around us? As a teenager, I was oblivious to the fact that 2 fire trucks were in the street in front of my house and in front of my friend's house. As a teacher and coach, there are always signals that our students give us that we miss. Often this is because we get so involved in things that we're doing that we miss these signals that can be as obvious as the fire trucks. But this doesn't only happen to teachers and coaches. It can happen to anyone. We all can become so consumed in our lives that we are blinded to the needs of others. I believe the greatest fulfillment someone can receive is pouring their life into others. But if we are so focused on ourselves, we will miss the fire trucks. When you are attentive to others around you, you become aware of the needs of others. Sometimes this is a simple need, such as a word of encouragement or a smile. But other times this will open the door for you to learn about their story. Learning someone's stories gives you insight into their life. When you learn where a person is and where they come from, you can develop empathy and understanding for that person. As a teacher or coach, this will open a door to help begin and further establish a relationship with students. But it can also work in the business world, and does. When there is a relationship, a student will learn. And in the business world where there's a relationship, there can be transactions. When there is a relationship, we can have genuine discussion about the hard stuff. I challenge you to reach out to those around you and learn their stories, because everyone has one. You don't have to agree with everyone, but understanding someone's story will allow you to appreciate and learn from each other. Today, I'm thankful for good friends like David and Russ. We are still close friends, and this is a story that Russ and David and I can laugh about and often do. Several things happened on that day. David and Russ didn't get their french fries, the Phillies got a new pitcher, and David's mom got a new kitchen. And I learned not to miss the fire trucks. This has been Coach Driggs for Love the Journey podcast. Until next time.